After 30 plus years of traveling, there is one thing I know about personal item bags. They can either feel like a first class upgrade or like you just left a yard sale with everything thrown in the bottom. Today, I'm going to share a what's in my bag type video for your travel day. And this could be for a 4-hour flight. This could be for a 10-hour flight, depending on where you're traveling to. The things we put inside our personal item bags make or break a trip, because all we have is that small little seat and what we can fit inside our bag under the seat in front of us. So let's fly into it. I have gadgets that I don't fly without these days. I have comfort item gadgets that I have in my bag, and everything in between. And first up is, what personal item bag do I take? I'm glad you asked. A personal item bag is just that. It's personal. I have 4 that I rotate between depending on my trip, how I like to organize. But as we go through this video, notice things that fall in line with the way you travel, or the way when you're sitting on a plane or even in the car and you have a go-to bag, the different amenities that would make your travel day easier, and then go from there. And if you already have your favorite personal item bag, that's great. How about some different ways to organize it? Because that can make a difference in what you pack inside it for that long travel day ahead. A few non-negotiables for a personal item bag. Outside pocket. When you're going through security, you need a quick pocket that you can also zip back up to throw your ID in, throw your phone in. Keep it secure as you're going through security. Trolley strap. To be able to slide that down and secure it. And of course, size. Being a carry-on suitcase and personal item bag only traveler, I have to make sure that all of my bags can fit under the seat in front of me, because I'll put my suitcase in the overhead bin. All of these bags that I have do fit under the seat in front of me. Depending on the airline that you fly most frequently, go onto their website and check their dimensions and make sure that they will fit for the way you travel and who you travel with. All of these bags fit on major US airlines. I've also used them on international trips where we have used Aer Lingus, British Airways, EasyJet, Ryanair. Also, double check that if you're making connections, that you check all the airlines that you fly with. 2.1 to that travel personal item bag is, once you reach your destination, how do you tour around? Are you a backpack traveler? If so, making a backpack your personal item bag that you can also use at your destination would be a good possibility. Or if you are more of a duffel traveler, then make sure that you have the right crossbody bag, or what I call my third bag, that you can stuff inside your personal item bag. So once I reach my destination, I have a smaller bag to tour around with. What way do you want to tour around? If this is your first time here, I'm that pilot wife lady on the socials. I'm a former teacher, forever pilot wife. I am on here to help you travel well, travel light, and travel in your own kind of style. Okay, we've got our personal item bag, and now we're going to pack it up. And the very first thing to pack in your personal item bag are the essentials, which would be identification, whether that be a passport for international travels or just your driver's license for domestic travel. Don't forget that at home, along with your cell phone. I have multiple stories of unfortunate people who have forgotten their cell phone. We hold so much documentation on that little electronic box. Passport or identification have the securest location. For me, I usually take a crossbody bag when we tour around, and for that, looking for something that will be the securest spot. And on this particular crossbody that I use on most of our travels, in the back, secure pocket, when I put it on, it's up, whoops, Sorry. When I put it on, it's up against my body. Anything, if we're in busy cities, most secure spot. If your personal item bag, as you're going through the airports, again, look for pockets. So on this particular, my Nomad Lane backpack, in the back, there is a secure zipper pocket. That's where that would go. So as I'm walking through, I'm gonna notice somebody if they're digging in my back. Identification. The next piece would be your wallets. I'm a 2-person mini wallet type person when we go on our long international trips, and that is so that I can have them in different locations. 1 credit card, 1 debit card, or 2 different credit cards, as well as local currency in 2 different spots. So should something happen, get lost, stolen, not everything's going to be gone. Another reason to take, when you have your driver's license and your passport, also different locations, as well as taking photos and having backup documentation. So photos of that actual photo page with your expiration date and passport number, as well as on the very back, there's that barcode on the back page. Have a photo of that, or a paper copy, whatever way you travel, so that should something happen, you have your numbers to help get a replacement. 2 wallets. Identification. This wallet is RFID protected. This wallet is just, it's cute. So in this one, I will put an RFID blocking card. I have had in the Philadelphia airport, when we were leaving for Rome, my credit card number was stolen. How that was, I don't know, but I don't take any more chances. So on the off chance that there are skimmers or scanners nearby, this goes in all of my non-RFID wallets before I put any of my credit cards in there. They come in a pack of 4, so I have them in multiple different places. I'm a big proponent of the AirTag. We don't check our bags usually, but I will still put one inside my suitcase because on the off chance that I do have to gate check, I can have that in there. I have one in my personal item bag and my crossbody bag on a trip. Hide them. Nothing is foolproof. If some nasty, mean person wants to get our stuff, I'm just trying to make myself less of a target. Hide it in some type of old gum container. I usually put mine in my shoe bandages container, something that's not noticeable, that's going to take them a second to find it instead of it just being clipped on the outside of your bag. Make them work for it if they're going to try and take your stuff. Entry passes would also need to be included. Most of those are going to be on our phone in an email that we get or attached to our passport, or a mix of both. The ETA, which is to get into the UK, the ETIAS, which is coming out at the end of 2026 for most of the European Union countries. Any of those, make sure that you look and apply well in advance so that you have that information. And again, if you like to print things out to have that documentation instead of keeping it on your phone, make sure that's included in all of those security and travel documents section that will go in the secure part, zippered part. Make sure that that's all in a section that you can get to easily, but also secure. On your phone, you can add everything into a notes app or use a travel app. I will put down below, I have 15 of my favorite travel apps that I use on different occasions. If you don't want another app on your phone, use your notes app. Just keep it in one central location to make it easier. And last but not least, it may be old school, but a pen. There are occasions when you need a pen still, and it's just nice to be able to grab that out of my bag. In this one specifically, it still has a pen slot, which I love. Just warms my pen and paper former teacher heart. Next up is the electronics, or the power portion, that are going to go in your personal item bag for that long flight. Whether you are an over the head or in-ear person, having noise canceling, huge plus. it gets a little noisy up there. Next up would be portable chargers. And these rules have changed a lot lately. People are getting confused with TSA regulations. You cannot check anything. Lithium batteries, they've been saying that for years. They have that list of banned items that cannot go into your checked luggage. But airlines are now making their own rules. So again, having that airline you fly app on your phone, huge plus. But at the very least, before you leave the house, look at the website and see their rules on portable chargers. A lot of them, since the fires have been started on flights because of portable chargers, they are saying if you're using it on board, it needs to be out and visible so that if something should happen, they can catch it quick and not start a whole cabin fire. I don't want to be on that flight. Also getting a dependable charger. I will link these down below. I've had no problems with them. Having one fully charged up for the flight, especially long flights when your battery on your phone is going to be drained, you're going to want to be able to charge them. Or bring in your cord to use on the airplane where they have the outlets that you can use. Just know that not all airplanes have one for each seat. So you may have to share, but it's an option. The other electronics I like are my data blockers. And those go, if I use just a cord and the USB or the USB-C, you can plug this in first. So if anything has been tampered with, it blocks like your normal plug charger would. If you don't want to bring this whole big block and just something smaller, that's an option. The other piece would be my ever popular corded. I don't like the corded AirPods, but when I'm on the airplane, very much so, because dropping that tiny little AirPod to look for between your seats or at rolling down under seats, not fun. Last piece would be when I get to the hotel is my 3-in-1 charger. Little gadget I love because I don't have to bring multiple cords, multiple chargers. It charges my watch, my phone, and my AirPods all in one. And it's so tiny, compact. It comes with everything you need, comes with the cord. And if you do need a block, which is nice to multi-use, you can use that for other things too, if you need it in a pinch. Next to pack up are my comfort items. Blanket scarf. Yes, it does come with the leash. I get that question a lot. I went back onto their website and noticed they have two versions now. When I got mine, it had this beautiful neutral color, and right now they have pinks, blues, I'm guessing for summer, bright pops. I will link those, as well as they do have a different version of this travel scarf, blanket scarf, and I can clip that onto my bag on the outside, and it's easy to grab. If I'm too full on the inside, it is useful because it's not only a large scarf, I can use it as a style accessory once I'm at my destination, but also on the flight, it can be used as a pillow, and it can also be used as my blanket. As a carry-on traveler, finding multi-use pieces is huge. The other things for the flight would be like a hydration type kit, especially on long international flights. The cabin air is so dry, you feel like a saltine cracker. To avoid that, obviously drinking plenty of water, but water in a way that's going to stay inside and not have us pacing back and forth every 15 minutes to the lab. Electrolyte packets, if you have a favorite, to put that in your water, as well as the fruits, the veggies. On international flights, they'll have those, but taking those with you. Throat spray, I like to bring. Face and eye, because those are what dries out most on me, as well as hands and elbows. This, ooh, I need to order more of that. This is phenomenal. This lotion, non-greasy, hydrates me right up. Always have that with me. Lip balm, eye drops. These I actually found at Costco. Take the top off, put them in, toss them in the trash. The health section of the bag. I've done many videos on this. I am that flyer who wipes down the tray tables, the seat belts, the armrests. They clean the trash, they do a quick vacuum between flights, but they don't wipe everything down. So wiping things down, as well as I bring sanitizer for my hands, say the lab runs out or any reasons. This also will go from my personal item bag into my crossbody bag to use on the trip. As far as medications, if you are traveling internationally, look up what medications are allowed in that country. A lot of countries, Japan, China, Hong Kong, even Australia, they have banned medications. So you don't want to end up there and then realize once you're going through customs, like, oops, what did I do? Look ahead of time if you have prescriptions or even over-the-counter medications of what's allowed into those countries. If you have medications or prescriptions, leave them in the original prescription bottle as a backup. Bring along your prescription paperwork, just in case. Probably won't need it, but having it with you versus panicking once you arrive, so much better. And never put prescriptions or medications in a checked bag. Always keep them in your personal item bag with you. Snacks. I'm a snacker. If you have ever been delayed on a flight, having snacks and a water bottle can save you. I get ideas all the time from people I'm sitting next to. So we just came back from New York a few weeks ago, and storms were hovering over DFW. So we were circling up there for about 45 minutes. Thankfully, our pilot, he managed our fuel perfectly, so we did not have to land and refuel in another location. Sitting up there for an extra 45 minutes, I was starting to get a little hungry. So I was glad I had my snacks and my water bottle, because they're not going to come back through multiple times. The flight attendants on that particular flight were amazing. There were some people that were like, hey, can I get another Coke or another water? And they were great. But having those with you in your seat, especially say if there's turbulence and they can't have a beverage service, if you are a snacker. The guy I was sitting next to actually had a baggie of vanilla wafers, like the little mini vanilla wafers. I'm like, oh, genius, I love those things. So I'm gonna go and grab a couple of those for our next flight. A granola bar, nuts. Be careful with allergies. So sitting next to people or anything, I've never had anyone have an allergy next to me or ask me not to open these, but just kind of be aware of that. Granola bars, I always like a chocolate treat. Dried fruits, another good one. Apple, banana, those are easy to pack along. And you can usually find those in the airports too, where they'll already be wrapped in plastic for you. And lastly, before I pack all this up into the personal item bag, one little quick gadget. I mean, super thin. People think of the most amazing things. On my tray table, my phone just slips right in there, and then I can watch, because sometimes either if you're in the exit row, bulkhead row, things like that, you don't have the one that comes down from the seat to use. This is nice just to set on my tray table. Holds an iPad, holds your phone. Love that gadget. And then a few things that I am not packing anymore. And the first one definitely shows my age. You bring the guidebook. Don't have to do those anymore. All on our phones, which is great. Too many snacks. I sometimes fall back into the mom mode where I had a baggie full of snacks, because hungry toddler is one of the worst things on the flight, besides plugged ears. Just in case outfits? No. I will pack depending on the flight. I don't do it every flight. On flights that maybe I could get delayed or separated from my checked bag, I will pack one spare outfit inside my personal item bag. So should something happen, I'll have a backup in there. Packing those, well, I might want to wear these shoes or that one skirt. No, I don't take up the space for that anymore. I'm reducing my liquids. And what I mean by that is a solid shampoo bar, conditioner bar, doesn't count as a liquid. My makeup removers, I have the small square makeup removers, or I have these disposable wipes that I can pack along. Longer trips, laundry papers also don't count as a liquid. Sunscreen on those beach trips, one use, pop them open. It is a liquid, a cream, so it has to go in that liquids bag, but very thin. Those few changes, I've been able to add in more into my liquids bag. Unfortunately, it's still a thing, the 311, if you have a carry-on bag, but I think we're getting closer. There are countries now, Dublin, a few places in Europe, you can now bring up to 2 liters of liquids. We're getting closer, but until then, I'm condensing. I'm gonna put everything inside my backpack for this one. The Nomad Lane ones are my ultra organized, which I love. Similar, but again, obviously, it's a backpack. Okay, let's pack things up. The bento backpack can open up like a suitcase if you want it to. So that's where I'm going to start, because I usually take my laptop on longer trips, nice cushioned. This trip, I don't take a spare outfit, but I will be putting my scarf on the inside. Trolley strap. This was the full section that I just had open. There's another zipper here. And this is where, in that back part, my third bag or crossbody bag will go into to board the flight. So first I have to get to the airport. And so in there is my wallet, one of those wallets, car keys, and cell phone. Front pocket here, zipper pocket. Oh, I have these in almost every bag, but already stuffed in there right in the front so I can easily get to it as soon as I board the plane. This is where that flat piece goes to hold my phone. One thing I did forget, readers. And if you need them, forgot to add that into my necessities, but those go in that front pocket as well. On this backpack, I have these 2 front pockets, but then it also has the side pockets, which is kind of sneaky. I love. And the way I use them, this front one, once I get to the airport, I pull my phone out of my crossbody and it goes in this front pocket, because that's where my boarding pass, I want to zip that in to go through security. Electronics, hydration and refresh, snacks. All packed up and ready to fly for this. It's going to probably be a 6-7 hour fly day. I packed mainly for the domestic, but all of these things I would still pack for an international flight. Just make sure your personal item bag is your command center, your comfort spot, the bag that's going to get you through that travel day. And having everything in the right spot that you want it to be, and not lost in a big old bag and tossed into the abyss where you're digging out all flight long in that tiny little seat, but somewhere where you have it organized the way your brain works. So one question, which team are you? Team overpacker, team minimalist? I'm ready to fly. How about you? I'll be back here next week to help you once again travel well, travel light, and travel in your own kind of style. Happy travels. Okay, tall enough. Oh, no. Okay, I guess I better pet things up. Our cat even walked out of the room. He must be bored. I need to dance or something. Liven things up. Stop rambling. And what we can fit underneath. We're falling apart. All of my stuff. Pause. Hold. Take 2. And if it goes without saying, is that the way you say that? If it goes without saying, no, that doesn't sound right. Where is that?